Play Rock 102.1 KFMA.
You say it, I'll play it.
You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw. Just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus Studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide, KFMA.com on this beautiful Tuesday, April 30th. Good morning, Rico.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tucson. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. Apologies for taking yesterday off. Had plans. I had plans of being super tired from having a late night on Sunday for a thrilling Game 3 of your Tucson Roadrunners. Sadly, that didn't happen. They were swept in the first round, and it was a heartbreaking experience on Friday night. Yeah, Friday night when it happened. I mean, it seemed like a lifetime ago that it happened. And the season's over. And then, within 48 hours, the Phoenix Sun season is over. Arizona sports are dead right now. Oh, but actually, there was a glimmer of hope and a fantastic NFL draft that happened as we did have some good key picks for the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah. I'll say this, this last game of the season for me, for the Roadrunners, was more difficult to process than previous seasons because the uncertainty of the future of the team, right? It was almost like it could be an end of an era, even though I don't feel like it's the end of an era. But so many people came out, packed those stands. It was nice. And when we lost, I was emotionally distraught, right? And I haven't been like emotionally attached to a sports team in a long time. And kind of in a way that it's almost like how you don't get too close in relationships sometimes after you've been burned a couple times. You know, you have your guard up.
That fall is never a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You're so fearful of that pain and that hurt. And I'm sitting there and I love this team and I love the whole run that we've been on and all the people I've got to meet doing this, arena hosting for the Roadrunners. I was so upset and sad that it possibly could be over. And, seeing them lose like that, it hit extra hard. And I kind of just left out of the arena as quickly as I can afterwards, not saying a word, and just kind of sat with that for a little bit. Super sad.
You just disappeared into the curtains afterwards?
Yeah.
Where's Beef? Like, he's gone.
I attempted to. I mean, I got stopped a couple times along the way, but then, as soon as I made my escape, and then didn't talk for the next 16 hours. Just kind of just sitting there processing it.
Beef, can I get a photo? You're like, not now, kid.
Yeah, I punched a kid in the face, got a little too close, and it happens. Pushed the mom down. She was pregnant.
Damn, dude.
She was in my way and I was trying to get to my car.
It was an emotional time.
Yeah, she understood.
For sure.
I mean, after she was like, ow, she's like, I understand, Beef, and gave me a thumbs up. It was very sweet of her.
Yeah.
I flipped her off in return. I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't.
Right.
Dad came up to me and stuff. I kicked him in the balls. It doesn't matter. I said, let's go Tucson when I did it.
Right.
So,
Branding.
It's so tough too. And this happens time and time again. There's so many diehard sports fans, right, for their team. And some of those are historically bad teams. Just imagine being like a Cleveland Browns fan, right? Over and over again. Every year you're like, this is the year. And every year it's a gut punch. It's like, how do you keep doing that to yourself?
But even worse, get used to losing so much where you're just like, well, that was supposed to happen.
Well, yeah.
They're like, all right, on to the next one.
And I've been there, completely been there. I was there for the last 10 years of the Suns,
Well, that was bound to happen.
Yeah. And the Cardinals, growing up Cardinals fans was easy as hell because they never won, and then they made it to the Super Bowl and then you got your hopes up and you fell in love all over again. And they lost that. It was gut punch all over again. It's what we do to ourselves. But of course,
masochists.
The joy of winning has to outweigh the feeling of defeat. I don't know. We haven't won. But I'm asking myself, it has to be, right? Is that why we continue to go all in on these teams? Is that why we put so much of ourselves, our time, and our
It's
emotions
building the pain
invested?
tolerance, I think. So when that win finally does hit, it's that much better. I mean, talk to the Cubs.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Well, I mean, hell, that's 3 generations that went by that didn't see a win. Yeah, so
Like, whew.
yeah, let's hope the afterlife has MLB TV.
Right.
Now, you're a Packers fan.
Ooh,
How do you do it?
wow. I look at the rings we already have.
Yeah, see,
just like,
you have wins under your belt. See, I'm a Giants fan too. I grew up a Giants fan,
Yeah.
so I could always be like, "Oh, 91 Giants, they're pretty good, right?" Remember when we beat the Patriots twice? That was dope.
That was cool, right?
Yeah. And
Have
like,
you
what
done
about
that?
now?
Have you done that?
Whatever. Well, we beat Tom Brady at his peak. So what's up?
Right.
Yeah. Well,
That's one
you
thing
know,
I do like about the draft too. You're like either looking forward to losing or looking forward to a potential win.
Yeah.
Like, we dropped the ball. All right, this season's gonna suck.
Well, my hopes are up for this season for the Arizona Cardinals. We'll see what happens with their top tier talent that they were able to draft. And I am a big believer in Kyler Murray. So we'll see we will see what happens. But until then, we'll focus on the now. Now is concert season. We have tons of concerts that are coming through Arizona. Of course, this Saturday, May the 4th be with you. Smash Mouth's going to be performing at the Centurion Party at the TCC. I'm excited to see how the layout of the TCC is going to be for the Centurion Party, because it's going to be more than just partying in the arena, right? They're going to kind of take over the entire TCC. So think Comic-Con with a big concert and lots of bars. So that's happening this Saturday, and I'm stoked about it, because if it's a good layout, who knows? Maybe that could turn into a big festival from our station one day. And speaking of big shows, I've said this before, but I mean it today, that at 7:00, I have a major concert announcement that I'm going to give you. And it's a big one that everybody is going to love and be very excited about, especially after a recent performance at Sick New World. Yes.
I got a feeling I know who it is.
All right, well, you can't spoil it until 7:00 or we'll get fired. But
okay.
At 7:00, I'm going to tell you who's coming to Arizona next and give you an opportunity to win tickets before they go on sale. And that's going to be happening all week long as well. So plenty of reasons to stick around. So be heartbroken with us. We got your Morning Moron coming up. Rock 102.1 KFMA, Beef Vegan Presents. We're live on the podcast broadcast. And, I got Omni and Chef TB in studio from Charles Chico. And I wanted to debut and share with you what I think. This is a proposal, okay? And now, Omni, you are marketing director for Charles Concepts. That's a title that you have. So
it's just the title you have.
Yeah. It's a very official.
It's not you. It's just a title.
Yeah, I mean, it's a job you do as well.
It doesn't define
you.
You fulfill that title. Rico and I, we are in the marketing game as well. We like to come up with different, advertising concepts and theme songs, if you will, jingles. And now, Charles Chico is been around. It just opened up recently this year, so it's a newer concept of El Charro. It's been around for 100 years, and we really want to give people's attention and say, hey, you got to try this fantastic place. This is like Baby Charro, where you get all that great Charro food, quick and easy, and it's right there in Midtown on Prince and Campbell. And so we put together a little theme song. I'm gonna run by you. I got a couple
I'm
options.
a little scared.
Should be a little scared, but it's gonna be fine.
Excited,
yes.
Excited.
Yeah, so
we have options.
Yeah, you have a couple options. I worked with my producer. It was real quick.
We got a good band in house.
Oh, we got a fantastic.
They're very
band.
talented.
Yes. So here is the first one, called just Charles Chico. This is the pop one. I got a Charles Chico Fiesta or Charles Chico.
Ooh.
Yeah. We'll start off with just Charles Chico, and I think this is female-led vocals. Check this out.
I go Tuesday, we head to town. Charo Chico is where we're found. Fresh Mexican cuisine, making our taste buds swoon. Our hunger satisfied with every bite we consume. Salsa bar.
Ooh.
Oh, the choices we have from mild to extra hot. We're all in for a laugh.
Oh, all right, Taylor.
Savor the flavor so fine at Charo Chico. It's a spicy good time.
Caliente.
Lunchtime comes, we're ready to feast. Charo Chico is the place we release.
re-released.
Local singing praises of this favorite spot, where the atmosphere's lively and the food hits the spot.
All right, so okay,
We
so
need to
that
put
was
some
the
spice
first
on
one.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Put some more spice in
Yeah,
there.
that was a little too gringa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
which is
gringa.
But
fine.
I like the little like taglines.
Yeah, I got some tag. So, I went with, the Latin inspired Charo Chico Fiesta. I really feel like captures the essence a little bit better and not so auto-tuney Taylor Swifty, right? Even at one point in those vocals, I don't know if he pointed, said clean vocals singing praises. And that was actually a directive I told my producer. I wanted the vocals to sound
Right.
clean.
You yelled
and
at
they
him.
literally said clean vocals. Like, nah,
Mhm.
yeah, you're doing it wrong, dude. All right, but check this out.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Chicos, where it begins. Fresh Mexican flavors so sublime. Our salsa bar like no other kind. Tacos, burritos, and enchiladas too.
Yeah, all that.
Charo Chico's got something for you. Spice it up, take a taste. Our dishes will never.
I can imagine
go
Gary
to
dancing to
waste.
Yeah.
Princess Speedway.
Princess Speedway.
Where the fiesta's always hot.
Like jamming
Friendly
out.
faces, smiling crew. Charo Chico's waiting for you.
All right,
Those
so
both cost us 15 grand, by the way. So you have to choose one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we'll
Put a lot
add
of
it,
money.
we'll bill you. But
Can we pay you in mini chimneys?
yeah, actually, yeah. That's a
So
currency.
I'll throw
I like that
Yeah.
currency.
That is global. Doesn't matter where you go. You got mini chimneys and stuff. Yeah,
You
we
guys
can
are
do a
dealing
deal.
with inflation. All right, have
Yeah.
fun with that. We got chimneys.
We'll decide. I got a couple more that I'll pitch you on the podcast broadcast stream. We are live, youtube.com/BeFegan. More Be Vegan Presents on the FM side coming up after Metallica's Screaming Suicide. It's Rock 102.1.
Charo Chico.
So I'm still
Those were
working on
good.
it. We're
we
getting
got a
there.
decent band.
Okay, but maybe we can work like on the music a little bit, but like
Okay.
the actual words were good.
The words were good, right? So yeah,
I like wrote them down on my notepad so I can put them as like
So she can steal from
captions
us.
You
on
should,
Instagram.
yeah. Just grab a chair, come on in. Charles Chico's where it all begins. A fresh Mexican flavor so sublime. Our salsa bar like no other kind. I mean, it's a little Dr. Seussy.
Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, but
Senor
hat.
Seuss.
it's a slower version if you want to get
Senor Seuss
romantic
for
with
sure.
it. Let's see. This is the romantic version of it.
Mexican flavors so sublime. Our salsa bar like no other kind. Tacos,
Eric.
burritos, and
Eric playing this, you can definitely get it.
Charo Chico's
The
got
violin.
something for you.
I got a hard no from Manny.
Hard no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hater.
Will never go to waste.
Nope.
Never.
Princess Speedway is a spot where the fiesta's always high. Friendly faces, smiling crew, Charo Chico's waiting for you.
And then a guitar solo.
Making sweet love inside of that restaurant. My God.
I know. I want more up tempo Charles Chico experience. So let's see what the producer can come up with and real quick.
You want the entire
Let's-
audience to want to have a quinceañera in there.
Yes,
That's what you
exactly.
want.
I need a quinceañera in my mouth.
In your mouth.
Actually, no, because quinceañera, yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a
let's-
minute. Have a
All
seat.
right, today's episode.
No, we're stopping it right there. Like, I did the math on that.
Just play stupid. I don't know what I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
I like chiltoperas.
Yeah.
Between
I
that and
know.
the chiltepín.
Yeah.
I want the 40-year-old anniversary in my mouth, right? The fiesta.
Yeah,
right?
fiesta in your mouth.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus, I'm
We
trying
got
to get
what you
myself canceled. Here we go. Let's try this one.
Erase it.
Yeah. Please, yeah. Pay no mind to that. Let's see this.
Charo Chico, the spot with the flavors in a lace. Princess Speedway, where we like to come and dine. Our favorite place for lunch.
Yeah.
It's always a good time.
Always a good
Fresh
time.
Mexican
Always better.
cuisine, it's a fiesta in your mouth.
Ooh.
Burritos and cheese.
Yes, in your mouth. That's better. Get a quinceañera.
Very cumbia.
All the options we can explore.
salsa.
Spice it up
For some reason, I see the
There's something
Al
for
pastor taco
everyone
on it.
for sure.
No?
Here's the chorus.
Let's see it.
Charo Chico Fiesta, where the flavors
Ow!
go wild. Taste buds dance as we savor each bite.
It's the winner.
Come on down,
I like this one.
join the
Yeah.
fun and let your appetite ignite. Charo Chico Fiesta, the best food inside.
So we're really into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yes.
When you pay
Oh.
that much money, you got to get into it.
Yeah, dude.
It's a good band.
I love that chorus actually. Well, I love how it started.
That's
and
the
you
better
never
one
repeat.
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh,
I like that
absolutely.
one.
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, why won't it? Oh, this goes on forever. That's amazing.
We
I'm
have
like, I
a
just
10-minute
It's
version
not
for
a
you.
jingle. It's like the whole album.
Yeah. That's I have DJ friends that are like, let me get that just for my next party and stuff. That's a good mix. Salsa
Save that
night.
one.
Yeah,
Star
salsa.
that one.
Yeah. I'm starring it all day.
Okay, good.
Okay.
If we do the commercial, we have to
how do I
dance
solve
too. You know that, right?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
But you know what? I will Google that to learn how to do a good
Salsa?
salsa two-step.
All right.
Yeah,
Salsa two-step.
Is there a salsa two-step?
There is now.
Should I not do a salsa
I'm
two-step?
sure we can figure it out.
Well,
Yeah,
the
for
way
sure.
that you
Start it.
say it, I feel like I'm way off in
Toby
what I
Keith
should
and
be doing.
Iglesias.
How
Yeah.
then salsa? Okay, first off, salsa is kind of like you're kind of going back
I
and
can
forth
Uh-oh.
like this.
Uh-oh.
eat salsa. I cannot dance salsa.
Oh.
Like I have to have like. You know,
I feel like salsa is like a two-step in a way. No?
No.
Beef.
think
Stop
so.
it.
I'm not talking about the food salsa.
I mean,
Like
do you want to put up a video and see if you can like?
No, I want
follow?
to hear him explain it more. This is fun to me.
This is fun to me.
Okay, so
Salsa's just like that.
but you
It's
can't
Mexican
dance
two-step,
salsa.
right?
No.
okay, can you two-step?
Yeah.
Okay,
We'll see you at the Maverick.
That's very Arizona of you. Yeah. You've been to the Maverick,
I
and you've
have
been able.
not.
What?
I actually just went to up top. Ina by the
Whiskey
Oh,
Roads.
yeah, Whiskey Roads. Yes, yes.
Our buddies
Oh.
played Los Gallegos
Uh-huh.
had a cumbia night.
Oh, nice. See, but cumbia, so you're not doing line step two dancing, right? You're doing kind of, well, cumbia dance is a different kind of dance, not necessarily salsa, but it's pretty much 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, right? You're kind of like,
That's not salsa.
no
though.
shit.
There's
What
no-
am I dancing then?
I mean,
Nothing.
Whatever your little heart desires.
Whatever makes you happy.
Called the stroke. That's
Okay,
it.
okay. Well, I'm not necessarily a good dancer. That's why I've DJ'd, so you don't have to dance. Rock 102.1 KFB. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. I think we settled on a good Charles Chico jingle. Now all Rico and I have to do is train for 6 months on
Yep.
how to dance properly in a video that we're gonna shoot at Charles Chico.
Need
We're
some
already,
mariachi pants.
no, I gotta get mariachi.
Yes, you
pants.
do.
Ah,
September 16th. We'll see you
depends.
at Charo Chico.
Perfect.
what's happening on that day? September 16th?
Yeah, it's La Independencia, so it's like Independence Day.
Okay.
Come on,
Mexico.
beef.
All right. Well, you know, we got.
You've lived in here.
I know. Look, I'm trying to catch up. I know this. This.
It's also our anniversary for El Charo.
Boom.
The original. Like. So this will be what 102 years.
It will be 102.
Wow, that's huge. That's so crazy too. A century. There's not too many things that are a century old
I know.
that still last in this country. And considering we have a restaurant in town that's still like the premier restaurant in town, 102 years, that's a long winning streak, bro. You know,
It's a good run.
yeah, it's a damn good run. Now, we got Cinco de Mayo happening this weekend. Obviously, you know, that's a holiday that a lot of people like to, appreciate and dive into, like Mexican cuisine. Is Charo doing anything for Cinco de Mayo or no?
So we're not only doing a day, we're doing 7 days of Cinco.
You're doing 7 days of Cinco. When does that begin?
Seven.
Right now?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
First,
Okay.
On the first.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm so off on my days.
Yeah.
But yeah, May 1st. So $5 margaritas every single day of the week. We've partnered up with from, Insolito to Cazadores to Patron to Herraduras. So every single day of the week, you'll have a different brand of tequila, but a $5 margarita. Along with like
Nice.
food
Ooh.
specials, El Charo will have like tostadas and taquitos. Every concept will have its own $5 special.
Yeah.
But $5 margaritas.
Yes.
That's
And you're
a good
talking,
deal.
yeah, these are premier
Every-
margaritas too. All these
the
tequilas you
good
mentioned
stuff.
are like good stuff. Yeah. For a $5 margarita.
We have like Flecha Azul.
Uh-huh.
We have Insolito. We have Cazadores. We have Herraduras. We have Patron.
Código.
And we have Código.
Wow.
Oh, and then we have Corrido.
I'd have to see them because the way you say it sounds so fancy that I like.
Repeat them again just so we can enjoy the pronunciation.
Yeah. But basically, you're talking like top shelf tequilas, $5 margaritas.
$5 margs all
every
week.
day starting March 1st at all Charo concepts. So El Charo, Charo Chico, and then what are some other Charo concepts that are in town that we know?
All right. So you have El Charro, Charro Chico, Charro Vida, Charro Steak and Del Rey, and then we have the Monica. So it doesn't matter what
The
side
Monica
of town you are.
counts too. That's fantastic too. So that's downtown. Charvita is on the Ina and Oracle. Yeah, and so
we have an El Charro on Oracle and McGee. There's one on Sunset and Kolb. We have our downtown OG location.
Yeah.
Charles Steaks on 5th and Broadway. We have Monica on Congress. So it doesn't matter what side of town you are, a $5 margarita.
That's fantastic. Okay, so that's part of the 7 days of Cinco that's happening at all Charro restaurants. What else is a part of the 7 days of Cinco? So you mentioned the food there. And then are you doing any festivities? Like El Charro sometimes does like little block parties at their downtown location. None of that happening this year?
We're going to have mariachis for sure.
Okay.
And then on Cinco, we're also going to have $5 Corona, Pacifico, Modelo, just like your Mexican beers.
Yeah.
All $5. So it'll be fun. It'll be a blast. I mean, we're going to have DJs and mariachi, all that entertainment.
Yeah, I love that. And Cinco de Mayo this year is on Sunday. So I hope Sunday. And so I hope my my GM and my manager are listening right now. I'm gonna be sick on Monday. I don't think I feel good. I don't think I'm coming in on Monday.
I'm gonna smell like premier tequila all day long.
Well, excellent. I love it. Let's keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. We got music on the way from Linkin Park and Red Hot Chili Peppers on Rock 102.1. Clear.
Like it's my new cologne. I promise.
Awesome. We hit up all that stuff. God, malware detected. Look at this. I gotta send this to Scott. He's gonna love this.
It's like he doesn't believe me.
Yeah, no, he does. He just texts me back. But
look at.
I want to be like, sorry,
my bad. Just trying to look at Mexican food. Sorry.
This is what I'm seeing pops up on my.
The germ.
The germ.
It's the actual emoji on his screen.
He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna be heading down. What's going on? Chrome pop-ups? Yeah, something like that. It's basically saying, "Oh, your world's on fire. Everything's about to burn." Like, but it wasn't because of my songwriting ability. I promise.
Lights go down.
Right. Entire grid shuts down.
No more.
Exit out.
Charro.
Cinco de Monday. Let's see. I will have the brown bottle flu Monday. Is what David said. It will be a brown bottle, right? You know, it's clear bottles.
Hey, which one's the George Clooney tequila? That's the Casamigos?
Casamigos, yeah.
I love that. That's actually really good stuff.
It is good.
Insolito is from the guys from Midland.
From Midland? Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Because they're here. They're local in a way, yeah.
Corrido is also local.
Nice.
And then we have Flecha Azul, Mark Wahlberg.
I like George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg cornering the tequila.
Well,
market.
I mean, the celebrity.
It's really good.
And the Rock.
It's really good. I was like, usually when it comes to like, a tequila that's usually comes with, somebody famous behind it.
Right.
You're like, well, but this one's really good.
And the personal shout out he gave you guys during that, when they were celebrating the family.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Wahlberg on a big screen, like, what's up, Tucson? I was like, whoa.
Oh, yeah. Did he shout out El Charro?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because they partnered.
Oh, nice.
We had a whole little like party on the 31st at Monica. It was like all Flecha Azul, like it was nice. They had a vintage Bronco out there. It was cool.
And Mark Wahlberg didn't show up to the Monica though, huh?
Maybe he did.
Oh, you had to have been there.
How's your mother doing?
Now I got to yell at Gary for not giving me the invite. But yeah, like it was kind of like this, celebrity boom and everyone getting into the tequila game. And the process to get a tequila is not an easy one because you have to go down to the area of Mexico, then kind of essentially find the farm and the family that is growing the agave that makes the tequila and kind of go through this process of picking the right farm and company to be able to distill this. And we've talked to many different celebrity tequila spirit owners, huh?
I was gonna say didn't you do that at the casino? That little room we had the event where you were explaining the agave?
That was actually mezcal. And so
okay.
mezcal's outside of the region of where tequila is, where you got to grow the agave. It's like champagne, right? But it's very interesting too, because you're talking about families who've been in that area for hundreds of years that have grown this and they have created an art. So it's for these celebrities to come down, swinging their checkbook,
right?
And it's almost they have to go for the highest bidder and try to court whoever these like farmers are. Be like, no, we want yours. Like, please work with us, kind of deal.
Mi amor, the Rock just showed up to our farm.
Yes, I know.
He wants to do business.
Yeah, and I like the Rocks tequila too. I was having the Rocks tequila for a while because it's cheap, but it was good quality cheap, surprisingly.
I haven't had that one just yet. I had the Insolito last week when we were trying to line them up.
Mhm.
I think I drank like, I don't know. I'm not even gonna throw myself under the bus, but they made us. We tried everything from Cazadores to Patron, Herraduras. The girl that used to be the marketing director is now in charge of the Herraduras brand.
Yeah.
She's great. So we tried everything from Herraduras, and that was, that was a good time.
That's what I miss from working in like bars, restaurants is the tastings. They're like, okay, we gotta do tastings here. So this is how it is. Just sip on it.
During the rodeo, that's what happened to me as well. I was like, you know what? Let's go. Jack Daniels. This is it.
Whiskey hour.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming in, and I hope you have fun. And I know that we're probably gonna come by for lunch today, get some blueberry salsa, and
The pressure's on.
in quesadilla.
I'll make it.
All right. And so we're gonna reset, and then tomorrow we'll do the tap out and everything. So
sounds good.
yeah, we'll see.
Thank you for having us.
Of course.
This is
Thank
like our
you.
first time ever being on air, like without Gary.
Yeah.
You know, he
I
owns
know,
this.
I know. And,
He is.
like Ray was saying, it's like Gary's already like, Mr. Local Celeb. It's like, we'll spread the love, So, it's first time. It's not the last time. We'll do it again. And next time we do tap out, come in again so we can play the game. And we'll talk more about what you have coming up and what you have on the menu and all that good stuff.
And we'll talk about the beef.
The beef special. If
The
you make a
beef
beef
special,
special, I'm telling you.
for sure.
Yeah.
And and
I don't like
salsas.
the face that you're
Salsas.
making. Doesn't seem like you're pretty confident about the beef special. There's
Got
so much.
I got it.
I mean, beef is like a very important recipe, and most of your menu. I mean,
Think
you
can
could go
marinate it in
pollo.
chiltepín? Do you think you can cook it with chiltepín? Because like he's
Yeah, I
saying
think you can.
He's like, I can do spice, but can you?
Uh-oh.
Well, no. If you're gonna like test it like that,
Wait.
the answer's always gonna be no. I
He's
can't do
backpedaling. Look at him
spice.
backpedal.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, if you're trying to blow out my back door, that can happen. I'm not like a robot. I definitely had things that are too spicy for me, and then it just worked my way through the system and wrecked me.
So does it have to be on like a Tuesday or a Thursday so Rico can come, or?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was more burn than that burrito. Damn.
For tap outs is usually Tuesdays, for sure.
Okay.
And that luckily I'm Rico's co-host on Tuesday,
Yeah.
so he could.
I tell him what days
Yes,
he can be host.
No, it's true. Actually, I
Yeah.
beg him for other days,
Right.
and he's like, "No, hard Tuesday, Thursday." I don't even know what he does the other 5 days of the week, and you know what? I stopped asking. So but every
less you
Tuesday,
know, the better.
Thursday, yeah, pretty much.
Sometimes.
But I know he's consistently Tuesday, Thursday, which is good. And I guess
Consistency.
on the days that he's off, he's going to other businesses and giving 5-star reviews. And this morning he gave a 5-star review for a place called Back Dough. It's owned
Back
by who is it?
The bakery.
Beyond Bread.
Beyond
Yeah,
Bread.
Beyond
Thank
Bread.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's really good.
And he had a fantastic experience. And in case you missed it, that's 5-Finger Death Punch with Welcome to the Circus. Welcome back to the show. If you don't know by now, my good friend Rico likes to go out and about on town and visit different businesses. And when he has a pleasurable experience, he immediately rushes to Google to leave a 5-star review. And you did that again this week, right, Rico?
I did.
Where did you go to?
Little place called Back Dough on Speedway.
Oh, the one owned by Beyond Bread.
That's right.
Tell me all about it.
All right. So the other day I was walking out of Bookman's on Speedway after spending 4 hours in the vinyl section trying to impress some hipster chicks with weird piercings and tattoos.
That's game.
Unfortunately, I guess the economy is so bad that all that is left perusing the high fidelity landscape is old crusty dudes shaped like potato sacks with ponytails.
I feel attacked.
I wasn't in the best of moods after being struck up with a conversation with a guy named Steve who got rich off the .com boom and tried to start a water park in Kuwait, and how he got into drugs after that went bust and his wife divorced him and took half. Then he was in the middle of telling me how many times he got laid because of Deep Purple's Machine Head album, but I stopped the conversation and told him Deep Purple was Black Sabbath for dudes who pee sitting down, and then beelined out of the store.
Facts.
Obviously, I was in a salty mood, and salty moods lead to a sweet tooth. Luckily, I glanced over and saw a sign for Back Dough. The word dough aroused enough curiosity, and immediately I wondered if it was the obvious play on words back door, but substituting door with dough. A whimsical pun indeed. I felt very smart. Or maybe it was a butchery where they only carve out the back meat of the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Oh, no.
I was about to find out either way. When I waltzed through the door, it dawned on me that this was an establishment for pies. And the inner fat kid began to scream and jiggle inside of me. I wasn't going to disappoint Fatty, so I began to take it all in. A quaint little spot with a bakery/factory appeal going on. There were racks and stacks of sweet and savory pie delight between the flour-sprinkled wooden counters, and a few ladies running the joint like a well-oiled, off-the-book CIA basement operation. One of whom told me that they'll be with me in just a minute. Take your time, you sweet dough angel, I whispered in excitement.
Creepy.
I looked at the menu and was overwhelmed at the delicious and varied options bestowed upon me. Cream pies, fruit pies, specialty pies, pot pies, and quiche.
Cream pies, you say?
Cream pies! Was I craving sweet? Was I craving savory? Fat Rico didn't care. Give him a pie. Any pie. You can stuff sour cream cherry, lemon cream cheese, blueberry apple, or chicken down this pie hole, and Fat Rico will squeal in delight. So what can I get you? I heard the carb angel ask. My eyes were reflecting the heavenly lights from the display case, and I looked up and said, Fat Rico can't decide. To which she looked a little off-put and let out a forced chuckle. Sorry, Fat Rico is how I disassociate from reality when faced with choosing not-so-healthy options and not wanting to take responsibility.
Nice.
So I use my imaginary fat kid as a scapegoat. I completely understand, she reluctantly responded. Out of curiosity, do you do custom pies? For instance, if I wanted a poo-scented chocolate pie to take next door and eat it in front of a guy named Steve while saying, hey, Steve, I would rather eat a poopy pie instead of listening to Deep Purple and your life story. Could you guys do that? Do you do gag sense? Unfortunately, not at this time, sir.
Oh.
That's fine. I'll take 3 peanut butter chocolate, 1 French apple, 2 strawberry margarita, and 1 ham and cheese quiche, please.
Wow.
I spent the money I would have spent on the vinyls for a red flag parade hipster girl, and boy, oh boy, it was worth it. A few minutes later, the pie steward boxed everything up, but I told her just to hand me the ham and cheese quiche as is. I couldn't wait any longer.
Oh, yeah.
She said to be careful because it was a little hot, but I didn't care. I did the finger shh, and then mouth assaulted that little quiche so hard, I think a few car alarms went off outside in the parking lot. Immediately, I was in a better mood. I don't know what quiche is French for, but it's probably climax of the gods or something, I said. Sir, I think you should leave now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been politely kicked out of many pieries before, but this one, for the record, was the best. Ta-ta, pie maidens. I put the pies in my truck, and then I saw Steve rage screaming in his Pontiac Grand Am across the lot. I could hear Black Sabbath blasting from the inside. Yeah. All in all, a very satisfying day and the best pie experience a grown man could ask for. 5 stars.
You always have the most unique experiences when you go and enjoy these establishments. That's an actual factual 5-star review that you could look at and read for yourself when you Google Back Dough, which is on Broadway, I believe.
Speedway.
Speedway. Okay. Yeah. Excellent review, Rico. We're going to hit the reset. Be back with more Beef Vegan Presents right after these words. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right, we're back here live, without our guests, but I'd like to thank Ami and Chef TB for coming in. Now, we got some more stuff we got to get to. Hey, good morning, everybody. I didn't get to officially say good morning, but appreciate you guys being here on the podcast broadcast stream. That was Rico's 5-star review. I'll keep an eye on that. We announced Slipknot this morning. That was fun. And I want to play... This has gone viral for whatever reason. You remember those like 900 numbers? There was a 900 number for everything, right?
800 numbers, 900 numbers?
800 and 900. Yeah,
okay.
900 in the 80s was a thing. And of course, they would charge money for. Somebody rediscovered a 1980s commercial for 1-900-CRY. Yes, 1-900-CRY.
Like a real thing?
Yeah, it's a real thing. And check out this video of 1-900-CRY. Again, this is a real...
It sounds like a Drake album.
Oh, it's so fantastic. So check it out. This is if you ever wanted to cry to somebody and pay $3.99 a minute.
What makes people all over America break down and cry like this? Call
Oh my God.
1-900-9099-CRY and hear it for yourself. $2 for the first minute, 45 cents each additional.
I should be
minute.
laughing, but this
If
is
you're under
hilarious.
18, ask your parents before you call.
Ask your parents if you could go cry somebody.
9099 cry.
What? We should bring that back.
Yeah,
I
well,
want to bring that back.
the
so
900
bad.
numbers, in fact, actually, I mean, I could just throw out 600K if May, and
Just cry to you.
yeah,
Cry to Uncle Beef.
yeah, if you want to cry to Uncle Beef, it won't even cost you $2 first minute, 45 seconds each additional minute.
Can I see your 1-900 cry face right now?
Okay, well, I can show it to you on this air. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. I just showed Rico this video, which is recently gone viral again. And back in the 80s, there used to be toll numbers that was actually just a business deal. And, obviously you had like hotlines that you can get like sports betting tips or, wrestling gossip or even, psychic predictions. But it was beyond that. And there was a point in the 80s where the 1-900, 1-800 market was so flooded, they literally had a toll number for any kind of concept. And this was proven in a video that recently went viral when someone rediscovered 1-900 cry, which was a hotline where you could call and cry to somebody. Right. And
Just cry it out.
yeah. And you think to yourself, like, that's odd, but you got to see this video. It's just from the 1980s, but you'll be able to hear it right now. Here's 1-900 cry.
What makes people all over America break down and cry like this? Call 1-900-9099-CRY and hear it for yourself. $2 for the first minute, 45 cents each additional minute. If you're
$2.
under 18, ask your parents before you call. 1-900-9099-CRY.
Now, unfortunately,
I can't with this.
Yeah, 1-900-909-CRY is no longer available.
Damn it.
I know. I tried.
Ugh.
I tried. I
I need a
needed
good
someone to
cry.
cry. I love how it's like if you're under 18, ask your parents' permission to go cry to somebody.
Dad, I need to cry to some stranger on the phone. I'll give you a
Like,
reason to cry.
Back in the 80s, they would whoop you, right? I got
Yeah,
whooped so many
yeah.
times in the 80s. I wish I knew this was around because after I get whooped up by my parents, I would say, oh, can I go cry about my ass whooping? 1-900 cry. And it's like, no. Then they get the phone bill and they're like, I got to whoop you again.
I want to look up so bad on YouTube to see if there's like 1-900 rage where people can just scream into the phone.
I'll look into it right now.
Maybe, if not,
Yeah.
it needs to be a thing.
Yeah, 900 rage. Let's
Good
see.
metal album too.
Yeah, no.
Damn it.
1-900 rage is not a thing on YouTube.
I would have been a millionaire.
I got 1990s road rage. Yeah, there's a lot of things on there, but 1-900 rage, unfortunately, rage is not necessarily in the vernacular as it is nowadays. Nowadays people rage on many different things. But back in the 80s, it was pre-rage, but it was peak cry.
Peak cry era.
Yeah. So too busy crying.
A lot of that new wave going on.
Than raging out. So, all right. Well, that was our viral video of the week. Keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. We got your Florida man story of the day coming up after these words and music from Bush and Rock 102.1 KFMA. Are you crying? All right. Now you owe me $5.
Damn it.
Clear. All right, so
That's so funny. I think the best part about observing that too is just knowing that there were like certain actors that auditioned for that commercial. And like, just give us a good cry.
Give us a good
And they're
cry.
using that as a launch pad to like bigger projects. They're like, that guy was a good crier in that commercial.
Yeah,
Let's get him on Days of Our Lives.
She's the best.
Great cry.
This chick cries like she has and this is actually pre-trauma as a word. But
Right.
yeah.
There were some good cries in there.
Yeah, man.
The one that did like the pause and then like the continuance.
Yeah.
Like,
But
this one
even though
was
you could
solid.
tell there was that's Visine in the eyes. This
Yeah,
guy
that was
for
so
sure
bad.
has eye drops.
Yeah. He's faking it.
Yeah, she is actually reliving an uncle who was a little too close to her. This guy totally faking. This
think he
guy
was my
not at
favorite.
all. Terrible. Yeah.
This my favorite. That looks like Theo Vaughn.
It does look like Theo Vaughn. This is what Theo Vaughn was attempting to look like, to get cool again. And it worked. So yeah.
Oh God.
What's going on, Tan?
We're just crying. How you doing?
We're just crying.
Just
What you
crying a
up
little
to?
bit. Whoa, what are we seeing now?
Oh yeah, then I don't know. I just kind of fast forward. You
We're
want
in
to
a cart?
Well, there was a bunch of tornadoes that happened over the weekend in Nebraska. You see that? Yeah, storm chasers actually caught a pretty photogenic tornado in all this. And these guys are just nuts too.
Did you see Bob? What's his name? The sports guy, Bob Menery, whatever. Bob, you know what I'm talking about?
No,
the guy that does sports commentary on Instagram. He's like a storm chaser on the side too. He's like
got all the hustles.
Yeah, I'm just like, what?
Show it to me. Well, this is storm chasers checking out this tornado on the freeway. This video went viral on Twitter. Pretty interesting to see how this worked. It kind of reminds me of the movie Twister. Even though these cars get super close to this tornado. One big rig actually got flipped over as well. Look at that. How close this guy gets, dude.
Nutcase.
And it kind of dissipates, but then it rebuilds.
And think it's over. Nope. Encore, baby.
Yeah, this happened all over Nebraska, unfortunately. Wiped out a series of homes. And yeah, tornado season.
Jesus.
I don't know. You know, I love living in Arizona. I couldn't even imagine having to deal and you know.
When I was living in Wisconsin as a kid, we had tornado warnings. Like that's the most terrifying noise of all time, are those tornado sirens going off.
Yeah.
It's like, oh
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you see how like perfect that funnel looks right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it came right across. There's the big rig that's turned over.
You guys will help. Yeah, I got it.
Imagine the rush, bro.
Yeah, well, they definitely go. Yeah. They're chasing the high for sure.
No, we got hazards on. All right. Oh my God.
Free Bud Light. Let's go. The viral marketing team for Twisters is doing one hell of a job.
He's okay. He's okay.
He's okay. Let's get out of here.
He's good. Back to the chase, boys.
Yeah, that's right. Like, wait. Aren't you going to help him out? No?
He's not dead. He's fine.
Yeah. Back to filming that nader. Woo! Look at that tornado.
Two things I want to get into is squatching and nadoing. Nadoing.
Finger of God, man.
That's right there.
F5.
The F5.
Finger of God.
Dude, that stayed with us, didn't it?
It did.
Twister, man. It's legendary. Finger of God.
Finger of God, man. Earlier this morning, we talked about Drew Carrey being a full-blown hippie. The reality is, people forget that underneath the surface of this PG Price is Right host is a degenerate. And Drew Carrey has been a hardcore partying, sex addict, playboy degenerate for basically 30 years, ever since the Drew Carrey show. But he's always looked like such a nerd. And like, people just let it slide. And over the weekend, he went to go see, actually over 420, he went to go see Fish at the Las Vegas Sphere, and his freak flag flew at an all-time high. And if you don't believe me, well, check this out. Here's Drew Carrey is a hippie. Rock 102.1 KFMA. It's Beef Vegan presents. Rico, have you ever been to a Fish show?
That's one thing I have not done in my life, Beef.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually proud to say that I have been to several. In fact, actually, I've seen them in Arizona. I also seen them in California and Las Vegas. I did a little
Fish
tour.
Stan?
You know,
Are you?
I look, in college, I had some hippie roommates, and they turned me on to the idea of Fish. I went out to the shows, became a believer. It was a hippie rave where everyone was dancing and you did not have to have rhythm. Also, drugs. Tons of drugs. Everywhere you look,
Everywhere.
drugs. I'm not kidding you. It is the most worst kept secret. It's an open air drug market. Walking the parking lot of a Fish show, you can literally get any kind of drug that you desire, and they're barking it out like they're selling tamales. I'm not joking you. They're holding up fingers.
Fair.
There's this whole code of them holding up fingers, and depending on how many fingers they're holding up, that's what they're selling, or they're looking to buy. And the whole thing is a trip.
It's a good system.
Yeah, and it looks like recently Drew Carrey outed himself as a Fish fan. Whether he was a Fish fan going into seeing Fish, or he just became a fan for life after seeing them at the Sphere. Now, if you didn't know, it was announced that on 420 that Fish was going to play the Las Vegas Sphere. And I talked about it on the show. We talked about how crazy that experience would have to be, because the Sphere itself is this optical illusion. You're surrounded by LEDs and all these visuals. And if you have something like a psychedelic jam band playing in the middle of that, it's got to be out of this world.
That's the best idea they've had yet, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because when U2 came out, I was like, that's not psychedelic, but they actually made it work with all the visuals. You're like, that looked like a drug trip.
Absolutely.
Like, whoa.
It made me actually want to see U2, which I didn't think
a tall order.
Yeah, anything would do that. But after Drew Carey went to the Fish show, he tweeted this. And now keep in mind, this is the host of Price is Right. All right. He said, I swear to God, I swear I just talked to God. I would give you all of my money, stick my D in a blender, and swear off the JJ for the rest of my life in exchange for this. Now, again, I'm censoring it. Drew Carey did not. All right. He said, bro, I met God tonight for real. I feel like I just got saved by Jesus. No lie.
I love that at the end. No lie.
Yeah. This is a man who still has not come down from the hallucinogenic high that he was on, right? And to most, I would assume this is surprising behavior from somebody who seems so reserved on the surface. But you guys don't know Drew Carey. Drew Carey.
don't know Drew Carey.
Drew Carey, since the 90s, has notoriously been out of control as far as when it comes to womanizing, sex addiction, and partying. In fact, he has legendary tales of, spending tons of money in Vegas and, basically buying hookers and just partying till the sun comes up. This is the guy who plays it safe with his career to host The Price is Right. And then on the weekends goes all out. And the fact that Drew Carey's still alive, after he's
got a rock star life.
It is 100. Like Slash looked at him and was like, "Slow down,
dude.
bro." It wasn't just him tweeting this out. He was also recently on the show that's on CBS after Colbert, which it turns out that it's kind of like a game show talk show where comedians come on and they riff like one-liners. And the host, I forget her name, but she turned it over to Drew Carey to talk about his Fish experience. And he sounded more mental. I mean,
great idea.
He did not hold back on how crazy he was sounding. And it went a little something like, wait, hold on. There's one more tweet I should read before I get into this. This gets even more graphic. Again, this is the guy that reminds you to spade and neuter your animals at the end of each show that airs at 10 o'clock in the morning all over the country. He said, this is what it must feel like to see with a P. See, you're going to have to fill in the blanks here or just look at the podcast broadcast stream later. Because if it's even close, I'm flying to whatever tomorrow and getting the best pee money could buy. You would know about that too. I don't need to be a man no more. If it means I can feel like this all the time, effing keep it, bro. And I could get this feeling instead. That was God at work or something. Like it felt like I was being saved by Jesus. No lie. And like, how high do you have to be to go on these kind of public rants again?
The takeaway is the no lie at the end for me.
Yeah.
Like, no lie, guys.
Now, Fish, got word of the tweets after they went viral. And Trey Estanio, the lead singer of Fish, was kind enough to send Drew Carey a blender. He even wrote a little note to it and signed it. So, and
enjoy, Drew.
Yeah. Trey even signed the blender, said, thank you, Drew. See you next time. Happy blending, Trey Estanio. Here's Drew Carey talking.
Never saw a fish, didn't know a fish tune, and they blew my minds off so hard. I had a bunch of girls with me, and I thought to myself, is this what it's like to people that were there can verify it 100% true. This is what it's like. It was like being edged for 4 days straight.
Jesus.
And then right before the face-melting climax at the end on the 4th day, an angel comes down from heaven, Gabriel, and he shoots heroin in your arm. And he says, good luck now! And he leaves.
The host is in disbelief.
For 15 minutes while while your eyeballs fall out of your head. So I saw.
All right, so that's Drew Carey.
Drew Carey has come down from the mountain. He knows so much happiness we'll never get to experience.
Yeah, now I know, man. I know management, say that I push the envelope a little too far sometimes. I'm like, hey, I'm not as hardcore as the Hostess Price is Right, okay?
Yeah,
I'm like Disney Channel compared to Drew Carey. All right, so if there's your opportunity to go down the rabbit hole and enjoy some fish, we're gonna hit the reset. Be back. More Beef Vegan Presents after this. All right, so there you go. That was my exhibit A, that Drew Carey is an animal. But if you Googled it and heard some of the legendary stories of Drew Carey, I've been following that for a long time. Dude, he likes to have a good time.
It reminded me of Tim Allen back in the day, watching Home Improvement as a kid, and then my parents telling me, like, he's a bad boy, right? He's a crazy guy.
He slanks me in. He slanks me in. It's tool time. He'd be yacked out. They're like, let me blow something up. That's such a cokehead move from Tim Allen for sure.
Yeah.
Lovely to see Kat on the stream too.
Oh, hi, Kat.
I sent you an invite as well, but I understand if you can't pop on, but we would love to catch up with you on the stream, Kat. And I love seeing you post a bunch. And of course, it's perfect timing because we're going to talk about Florida Man. And this is your neighbor. So, this is whenever I do this segment, I think of you, Kat. Not in a creepy way, though. Not in a creepy way.
Is you wrestling alligators?
Florida Man. Oh, I think of you, Kat. I get some weird messages about you, Kat, too, as well. It's like, what's going on with Kat? Your ratings are in the tank. You need to bring her back, bring the ratings up. I'm like, dude, I don't need to bring on people for you to jerk off to, but if that's the case, Mari's on Monday and Friday.
There's that. Can we get a cardboard cutout of Kat, maybe? Just put on the stream.
Yeah, well, Kat, send us a cardboard cutout of you, please.
Yes.
Yeah. For the stream. Not for the personal use, I promise. All right, let's do our quick Florida Man story, and then we got a good beef tip. I know that's welcome back, right? Rock on 2.1 KFMA's Beef Vegan Presents. We're live on a podcast broadcast, and it's been a few days, so we might as well hit you with our Florida Man. Let's do it.
Florida man, catch an alligator in the trash can. If you can't do it, no one can. Come on now, Florida man.
Now, we talked about how road rage is bad, okay? Now, and road rage in Florida is actually bad, but with the side of delicious. And it seems like there's a growing trend happening in Florida, as our latest Florida man is a 46-year-old named Nolan Goins, and he got into a road rage incident last Thursday over glaring headlights. He was infuriated by this. Now, according to a police report, Nolan got so upset that he threw spaghetti with sauce from the passenger seat of his vehicle, striking another driver with his open window. So the pasta hit the victim in the arms, leg, and torso. And he's like, oh, bleeding. I got shot. Oh, no, wait. That's delicious. Yeah. Now, if you remember last week, there was a story about road rage where a woman threw spaghetti at another car, which was being driven by.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
a lot of spaghetti throwing going on.
Yeah. It's the spaghetti trend that's happening. It's another spaghetti incident.
Spaghetti rage.
Nolan also got the spaghetti on himself, so they were able to identify him pretty quickly. It was basically smoking gun, but. Again, more delicious. Neither man was seriously injured because the spaghetti was cooked. Now, he was charged with misdemeanor battery and booked into the county jail. He's not an Italian chef. He's a painting contractor whose rap sheet includes convictions for selling weed, obstruction, and battery, and now slanging spaghetti marinara at a passenger in a road rage incident. And that's what makes him our Florida Man of the day.
Yay. Florida will be beneath the sea, passed down through the generations. The legend of Florida Man.
Oh, spaghetti.
The legend of Florida Man.
Nolan Gaines.
The legend of Florida Man.
Mamma mia, alligator.
Oh my God.
I know. We got your beef tip coming up after these words. Don't go anywhere. Where are you going? Nowhere. All right. So speaking of beef tip, I do want to share this. The beef tips actually come in handy. And my beef tip is one that is a personal beef tip of mine because I kind of reminded myself over the weekend, and I'll explain here in a little bit. But I did get a message on Instagram the other day that I thought was really nice from a listener. She goes by, let's see if I could pull this up.
Oh, it was a lady.
It was a lady. Derica, right? Derica, like Erica with a D.
Like Derek with an A.
Okay, yeah, that works too. So she said, "Hi, I just want to say thank you for that tip that you shared on the perfect high five.
Oh,
I've been able to use it twice now, once at a work function and another time out with friends. It's funny to share and test with others that are just as bad at this as I am and creates such a bonding moment. So thanks."
wow.
And, isn't that fantastic?
Making a difference.
I'm telling you, one beef tip at a time. And I go through, and these are legitimate tips. Most of the time, they're legitimate tips. Sometimes they're jokes, but with that said, it's always great when a beef tip sticks with somebody and they utilize it in real life. So
Life changing.
yeah, and that was a fun message to receive over the weekend. To which I responded, "Heart."
That is all. You're welcome. Stay tuned for more beef tips. Thanks, lady.
Yeah.
And this whole freeway rage. Well, I realize how mad I do get though on the way home from work after the bar.
Yeah.
On the golf links, there's always guaranteed somebody behind me with their brights on, and it drives me up the wall.
It is bad.
I'm like, bro.
Sometimes it's not even bright. It's just the way that the lights are kind of positioned on vehicles. Some of these vehicles are kind of designed to always look like their brights are on. And thank you for that comment, Liz. Prepare for an instant friend request.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Oh, hi there.
Oh, hi. I heard you like my tip. That's fantastic.
Plenty of more beef tips your way. Careful now.
But no, LED headlights
are a bane.
They are a bane.
Yes.
Todd, I'm going to hit you up as well. Are you free to join me tomorrow morning? With D-Rock, do it all over again on Wednesday. Run it back, as the kids say. You know what the kids don't say? They don't say YOLO. They don't say, let's see. There's a whole list I came across. Oh, LMFAO. They're all lame, right? Instead of YOLO, they'll write DIFTP, which means do it for the plot.
Oh.
Yeah. I did not know that.
I don't have room in my head to put that in there. But
Well,
thank you.
They'll, instead of KK, they'll write bet, right? Which means that, you're on board. And instead of LFMAO, they'll write IJBOL, which stands for I just burst out laughing. And fuck these kids.
For real.
Honestly, dude,
For
getting out of
real.
control. Here's another trend that I've noticed that I didn't even read anything about, but I've had a couple my daughter followed me on Instagram, so I followed back. And I've noticed some high school kids like kind of following the page recently, right?
Really?
Yeah. And it's fine. So,
cool and hip.
Yeah, everyone that kind of everyone that follows, it kind of just be like, okay, who's following me? Is this a spam thing? Or is this legit? Or they listen?
No, for real. These days you kind of have to confirm.
Yeah. What I notice is, anyone that has like the HS in their kind of bio, they have 0 posts. Right. So they don't post anything. These kids don't post anything.
Lurkers?
No, they're not lurkers.
Oh.
They don't post they post on stories, but they don't post permanent posts, right?
Yeah.
Because they're actually smartening up.
Yeah.
Right. They're not kind of like leaving incriminating evidence or something that they might be embarrassed about years in the future, but they'll post for 24 hours at a time. So they're all strictly using the story feature and not doing any actual posts.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's it's a trend that I've noticed that I'm pretty sure is a thing amongst this new generation.
It's a trend, but it's also making sense too, because the algorithm, the algo doesn't like pay attention to posts as much as stories. You get more eyeballs on stories anyway.
Yeah, in a way, it definitely does.
But yeah, I mean, that's a good reasoning.
Yeah. And so, then my daughter, she followed me from her burner account, apparently. And I'm just like, okay, what kind of bullshit have you been posting?
Oh, God.
And I look, I'm like, oh, nothing. Very clever. Very clever. I'm not even mad at it. I mean, it would have been better. It would have been worse. So obviously, she's posted a picture of her like smoking weed with a bunch of people. I'm like, yeah, that's stupid. Instead, she just posts that to the stories. So they,
clever. Yeah. Do you ever get the I hate it so much because I think it's such a lame thing.
We're getting back on the air.
Okay.
You tell me real quick.
No, on Instagram stories where it's
we're back. Rock 1 2.1. So what were you saying?
We're talking about Instagram. I'm saying how stupid it is with the stories.
Yeah.
The way it's shared and all that. But are you ever cool enough to get one of your friends put you in the green ring? Where you're, you can only view their story.
Oh yeah, I got some friend stories that I get to see from time to time, and I do appreciate it. I feel honored, actually. Like, thank you for including me.
I'm in the cool group.
Yeah. All right. Well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for the show today. But don't forget, we announced Slipknot is going to be performing in Phoenix, and we'll give you those tickets all week long before they go on sale. All you got to do is continue to listen to the show. Your next opportunity tomorrow morning around 8 a.m. But before we leave you, let me give you a beef tip. My beef tip today: Google it. Now, as simple as that may seem, when it comes to any kind of scenario where you feel like something's broke, before you try to replace it, Google it. I had a situation where my Xbox completely melted down on me. Would not start, would not power on. It was done. And I'm like, broke my Xbox. It's an old Xbox. So that figures. So I was looking up prices of what a new Xbox would cost. And before I actually bit the bullet, I was like, you know what? I want to look it up first on how to fix this thing. And I came across a YouTube short that said use a blow dryer with cold air and blow it out for 5 minutes and it'll work like new.
Whoa.
I didn't believe it, but I did it. And guess what? My ass is on the couch playing Red Dead Redemption again.
Oh, snap.
Yes. So my beef tip to you is before you take the plunge and have to replace something that you already own because it broke, Google it and maybe you can fix it for free.
What about a broken heart?
Google it.
Oh.
Yeah, there's ways.
Stop being a loser. Thanks, computer.
And it's like, why is Andrew Tate just showing up all in my algorithm now? Either way, we'd like to thank you guys for listening to the show. Robin Nash is up next. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later. Google it. Just Google it.
Upon a side of beef,
Wise words, man.
soon will come an end to all your grief. But if you've been mean or kind to
Don't forget
bad,
to send that
I
lifelike
will knock
cutout
out all your
for business
teeth.
purposes. Definitely not